Hello there, this is Ron coming back at you with yet another car video. Yeah, I teach game from life experience. I teach game from life experience. Now, I wanted to really get into that because every now and then you get somebody come on here and they don't know anything about me, or they see one part of a video or a title or something, they don't realize who they dealing with. And also, a lot of times people get into credentials. Dude, I done experienced a lot of this stuff, really just life period, but if we want to really get into just the part of life that's dealing with man gets woman, and shoot, that's a life experience thing. That's something I've been seeing since I was little. Since I was like a 2-year-old living out in Santa Rosa, California. I remember my mother said I would go over to the neighbor's house, nice looking woman and stuff, knock on the door with a daisy, be like, here. I've been seeing some stuff. Or when I was in the first grade, and I remember I told this story before. We had a party in the class, and everybody was supposed to bring a drink and a soda, but Rom's greedy ass drank his soda first. But there was a young lady in the class who had brought 2 sodas. I saw that, so I went over to her, and I was like, "Say, so how you doing?" I ain't get the soda, but But I'm gonna tell you what. I was really thinking about it, why I say the things I say, why I know the things I know, and it really is just life experience. Not a book or anything like that. And just, you get some people, they try to go on like, you don't know what's going on. It's like, hold up. First of all, you don't know me. All you know is what you have in the car, what you see me in the car or maybe doing on the couch video. And even then, what do I say? You don't have to take my word for it. Don't just say, oh, well, you don't know what he's talking about. It was like, no, why don't you go and talk to somebody? Why don't you go out and find out for yourself? In fact, everything I say go find out for yourself, because that's how I learned it. Because, look, I put it like this. Anybody who doubts it, I've probably been with more women. Whatever your age is, I've been with more women. Shit, whatever your age is, definitely been rejected by more women. Been dealing with different women in different social classes. Shout out Master Teacher BGS. He saw that. He saw that right away. Because I was seeing how women were behaving in Southeast DC, Anacostia. And it's funny. Sometimes you always get somebody who's I was saying something about just knowing how people behave in the streets, and they were like, you ain't from Compton. I'm like, I ain't never said I was. Even though I was born in LA. I never said I was. You see, you get some people, they don't really know what the fuck they talking about. Some dudes and stuff, just because, really, well, I just say it, hit dogs hollering. They know they don't know. So instead of, they go for the messenger instead of the message, and see if the message is right. But yeah, it was just life experience. Been through, like there was somebody was asking, oh, what's your plans? You're planning to get married? And somebody else answered him, somebody who'd been listening to me for a while, saying, he said he'd been married. Now, I've been married. I had no problem saying that. Been divorced, married and divorced. And even before that, a few years before that, lived with a woman. But I had that experience. Definitely had the experience of being rejected. Definitely had the experience of having sex with many women. Had the experience of some women, most I might have got was a tongue kiss. Everything I'm talking about, I probably experienced it with a woman, or know somebody whose word I trusted They were telling me some stuff, or I witnessed some stuff. And, you know, you just learn. And what I'm trying to do, especially for a lot of guys out here who are having trouble, is telling you what to do in this situation. All right, done seen it before. It was like, oh, okay, that. Or that. You know? There's a lot of stuff. Because I done seen it, or it's very, very rare somebody can come up with something that I hadn't experienced before, I hadn't seen before. Very rare. I ain't saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's rare. I think somebody did one time come up with something. I was like, no, I ain't really know anything about that. You know? Like I said, either a situation I've experienced before, or know somebody who experienced it, whose word I learned to trust, or I witnessed it. One of those three things. So when I'm talking out here, I'm not talking like on just some lightweight shit. Now, sometimes somebody come on here and say, well, you don't know what's going on out here. How the fuck you know? In fact, if somebody want to come on here now and say, I don't know, tell me exactly what I was doing this past Saturday. Tell me exactly what I was doing this past month. Tell me exactly. I mean, give my whole itinerary for the entire day. You only see me when I do these videos. At most, you see where, if you're familiar with this area where I might drive past, you might know where I stop. But tell me who I talk to once I get out the car, or tell me who I talk to before I get in the car. You know, you don't know who I know. And plus, remember, I do consultations. So I'm talking with people across the country. I'm talking with people across the country. Really across the planet. Seeing what's up with them. Across the planet. Seeing what's up with them. So I'm getting information from them. Got two sons, getting information from them, 22 and 20. In fact, one got a birthday coming up too. You gotta remember that. See what he want to do. So he about to be 23 and 20, knowing what they doing, knowing people in their circles. So they telling me some stuff. They seeing what's up, and I be paying attention to every little thing. I keep my head on a swivel. And plus, there's a lot, like I said, you're not with me 24/7, so you don't know what I know. And you know, it's funny, right? Even when I said that thing about online dating and stuff, I actually tried that for like a little bit a few years ago. I actually tried that. I was like, yeah. And then remember, I did a video saying that's not as big as it used to be, and I specifically in the video said that's not even based on what I'm saying. That's based on some news. And like I said, look it up. So you can go on YouTube and look that up. Ask about online dating and what people are saying now. They're not getting into it. But the thing is, the bottom line is, don't be like, well, that don't mean anything. I'm still active out here. I'm still active. Shit, I'm still doing my thing. I'm still looking. And plus, older people, the game don't stop for them. I said that several times any damn way. I mean, yeah, shoot. I know some dudes who be like in their 70s, 80s still getting it. In fact, I mentioned like at the gym, there's this older dude. I had talked about him a couple times. He'd be in there with this older woman. He'd be looking all thorough. Got his legs crossing that thorough, man. And got his arm over there. I said, go ahead, play it. Yeah. Wait a minute, let me pop this head so I don't get too hot up in this building. Yeah. But shoot. they be like, look, it's just like the shit's still happening. I'm still watching it. In fact, what do I always say? The best way to learn anything is to get out there. And I've said that several times. I said, get out the house. You ain't gonna learn anything asking anybody anything. You ain't gonna learn anything till you do something. You know? It's like the example I gave one time. You can read 100 books on sex. 100. I mean, exactly 100 books on sex. But it will not do the same thing for you as actually having sex. You can read all you want, read about all the positions, read the Kama Sutra, do all of that stuff. But shoot, once you get your joint up in there, trust me, it feels different. And shoot, even when I talk about that, I had stuff I talk about with that, probably experienced that. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna I lie and pretend like, every single woman was satisfied. Some were like, yeah, screaming. Others were like, you finished yet? I was like, hey, but that's just going through life. I don't have no problems admitting to that. I don't have no problems admitting to that. Because some guys don't even get that far. But, you know what? You just, it's just life experience. And just talking with women. I was actually thinking about that the other day. How many women have I talked to in my life? Just talk to, not just like just a high either. Like a deeper conversation. And it's I'll just say 4 figures. And remember, I'm counting that from when I'm young too. Counting that from when I'm young. And when I say and talking, I ain't definitely ain't get with all of them though. I do know somebody. I don't know if he want me to announce it. Who said he been with 4 figures, and he probably had. But I'm still looking at it as terms of you get a perspective and you see stuff. Like with women, after a while you start seeing the patterns. You start talking with enough women, dealing with enough, even during rejections and stuff, you start seeing patterns. You say, oh, okay. Like when I talk about the tribe, that wasn't something I read about. That was not something I read about or had somebody talk about. The tribe. Oh, there's Popo. I'm behind Popo. I should go drive up on him. Woo, 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 woo. Anyway, one of the things is you start seeing the patterns. Like the way I was seeing the tribes, after a while, you start seeing the patterns. It's like, oh, okay. Then start paying attention to the patterns with other people I knew. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Like guys I knew, players I knew. It's like, well, they always get this type. Like I knew this one player. He always got the same type of women. Then I started noticing that again and again. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Or this type, or if he's dressed this way, then these type of women gonna respond to him. Or if he's in this social class, these type of women gonna respond to him. And and of course I pay attention for myself. I was like, oh, okay, this the type of woman. Like, even to this day, if I run into a woman, I take one look at her and say, okay, she gonna be receptive. She ain't gonna be receptive. Or, okay, with this one, she'll be receptive if I do some work. See you later, po-po. But that's the thing, though. That's the thing. But it all comes from life experience getting out here. It's why I always emphasize that's the best way to know. If you want to know game, you want to know what works, you got to get out here. You got to get out here. I'm going to talk some more. I'm going to hit that again tomorrow on something very specific. But today I would say, just talking about myself, that's how I know stuff. And yeah, somebody will say, well, what the fuck that mean? I'm still out here, motherfucker. You out here? Are you out here? And have you had the same experience? How many women have you talked to? Like, I remember there was a dude, and he's a good dude. I ain't gonna call his name out. But he was talking about, like, yeah, all these women are this and that. And somebody else actually asked the dude, he was like, well, how many women have you approached in life? In life. And the dude couldn't really answer. He was like, okay, well, shut the fuck up then. That's what the dude said. I was like, hey, I'd have been nicer about it. I would say, why don't you just wait? I'd have been nicer about it. But the other dude just told this dude, shut the fuck up then. You ain't approached this many women. But that's how you get experience. And in fact, people got to find what works with them. Even like I was talking about approaching and choosing signals yesterday. Well, the experience I have is the women still making their choice. And you can see that otherwise. Either way, no matter what you do, but you still got to approach no matter what. You still got to make a move. You still got to do something. Because even from another thing from experience is, like I was talking about, I did a video talking about women shooting their shot. Women, even when they want a man, they just go and look. In fact, that was from experience. I remember I learned that back in 1984, summer of 84, right? I was working on this summer job in Kenilworth Parkside in D.C. And that was back when it was bad. I mean, the police... I mean, they used to walk through there like it was an arm, like they were in the army. They used to just walk down the middle of the street. Some be walking, some be driving. They come through there like a force. But anyway, there was a young lady. I was told about this young lady who was interested in me. I didn't know who she was, but dude told me and said, she ain't going to approach you. She just going to look at you until you make a move. You going to have to do something. But she just going to look. She ain't going to approach you. But that was a game. And, I saw that years later. Like, I think the last time a woman's done something that I was just totally surprised by. I specifically remember this. This has been decades. And I even told the young lady, she did some shit just to totally surprise me. It was in the 1990s, late 90s. And I even told her, I said, damn, you got me. You got me. I'd never seen that before. Yeah, now I know to look for it. Now, anyway, that's the best way to learn the game. That's the best way to learn what you're going to learn. You got to get up here and actually... You actually have to get up here and actually get out here. You got to learn it. And like the shit I'm sharing, look at it as a perspective for somebody that you pay attention to. You still got to learn it yourself regardless. But look at what, I'll share, what I'll talk about. Because I done been through it. It ain't science. I ain't had to read about it. I ain't had to read about it in a book. Like, I don't have to read about it in a book how to be married. Or go through a divorce. Or be cool with the ex-wife. I don't have to do all that. Been through that. Because even before that, had the experience of living with a woman. Had the experience of dealing with women of different races. Like, I remember it was funny, this guy, I saw this video. I mentioned this video, this guy talking about only certain types of black men will get Asian women. I was like, well, unless my ass is extremely attractive, I'm not racially mixed. That dude is wrong, because not only myself, and that was just 3 that I happened to get with. Could have got with more. The sister blocked me from getting with this other woman, but the sister took care of it later on. But I knew some other brothers got with some Asian women, and it is what it is. And see, that's one of the things too. That's one of the main things. It's very, very, I ain't gonna say it's impossible, but it's very hard for a woman to fool me or do something new. Because I done experienced it. And, the perspective I share with dudes is, well, okay, this is what you need to do. This is the perspective. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Now, you don't have to take it. You could just go. You could just leave it. Okay, that's fine. That's on you. But if you want to learn something, if you don't want to go through the same thing, see, that's an important thing too. Because you got some cats up here, they don't want to learn from anything. They don't want to go through. They want to sit in the house. They want to read a video. Or here's something too. Looks like somebody used to know. They want to put it down, or they don't want to deal with something because they hadn't gone through it, or they even got an issue. It's like, dude, you're the one being hurt. I'm not being hurt by all of this. You being hurt. I'm not being hurt by this. I done did my thing. Got my thing. I've been where a lot of guys have been, already been where a lot of guys are trying to get. I'm still out here. I'm seeing what's happening. There's even a lot of really, I'm gonna be real with you. There's still a lot of stuff I don't talk about because a lot of guys can't really handle that shit. And sometimes I'll be thinking about it. I'll be like, is that something I really need to get into? I don't know. Anyway, let me get off of here. But life experience. I teach from life experience. I done had it. Now, if you a person who don't think I did this, like I said, lead with tell me exactly what I did last Saturday. Tell me what I did 6 months from now. 6 months ago. In fact, I'll specifically say, tell me who I was dealing with, which woman I was dealing with on August 13th of 1996. And if you can't do all that, shut the fuck up, okay? And learn, get the perspective. And I would just say that, because even to this day, when an elder tells me something, I just shut up and listen. Because they have a perspective that I might not have gotten. And that's all I'm giving. Because at the end of the day, you got to go out and find what you need to know. All right? So anyway, that's all I got. And I'll get back with y'all. Peace.